Hi, it's Richard Hughes with the Hughes Law Firm. With me today is John Campbell. John is of counsel to the Hughes Law Firm and is going to help us with the next installment of Solutions. John, we have a lot of clients calling in who are married. And let's take a scenario. We've got Margaret, who has husband John, and John's in serious trouble. He can't stay home anymore. He's got advanced stage Alzheimer's and he's got some other organic problems. Margaret can't take care of John anymore. He's got to go live in a nursing home. What challenges and opportunities do we see here for them to get some help through the government in other programs called Medicaid, maybe aid and attendance and so forth?
Well, in the type of scenario you're talking about where nursing home placement is likely, really the benefit you'd be trying to qualify for would be Medicaid. Now, luckily, when you have a situation like you described, where there's one spouse going into a nursing home and the other one continues to live at home, what we call the community spouse, there are some special rules that come into play. There are protections, what they call the spousal impoverishment protections, that allow that community spouse to maintain a decent standard of living while still getting assistance for the spouse in the nursing home. There are income protections and resource protections. The income protection is called the minimum monthly maintenance needs allowance.
Can you say that real quickly?
No, not without tripping over my tongue. But it's an amount that changes again every year depending on the cost of living. And it's a minimum amount that Medicaid says that community spouse should be able to get in income each month, provided there's enough income between both spouses to equal or exceed that amount.
Well, that sounds like a big calculation problem.
It can be, but it's really something, it's something we know what the minimum is all the time. There's a maximum too, but that is really calculated as part of the application process. But if the community spouse's regular income isn't enough to meet that minimum, they can bring income over from the spouse into the nursing home back to the community spouse and reduce the amount that the other spouse pays to the nursing home.
So even though in our situation John has $3,000 a month coming in on his income from Social Security or pension, he can actually give some of that to Margaret to get her income up to a level where she can survive and do well each month in case her income isn't high enough personally to take care of her monthly needs.
Right.
So we don't have to give it all to the nursing home. We can give it back to the community spouse, the spouse living in the residence.
That's right. And as I said, there's also a resource protection. That community spouse, in addition to the $2,000 in non-exempt resources that the spouse in the nursing home gets to keep, that community spouse gets to keep an additional amount of resources called the community spouse resource allowance.
And that would be like a savings account or an annuity or stocks or bonds?
Any kind of asset that's not exempt. Okay. And the total this year of that is $115,920.
All right, so they can keep $2,000 plus that $115,920, which gives them some money to work on. They aren't impoverished. It certainly won't send them to the islands, but it won't take them simply down to the $2,000 limit that is the limit for single people. Yes. So married people have a better benefit, can keep more, and can keep the spouse at home cooking with natural gas without going broke, so to speak. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great. That's it for this topic. We'll come back and spend more time on related areas soon. Thank you.